We're live. Good morning. Good morning, Dr.
Good
Kiltz.
morning.
Good morning, Sonia.
Good
Dr.
morning.
Nelson.
Good
I'm
morning.
so happy to have Sonia here today. We met and became fast friends, BFFs at Meatstock.
Yes, definitely. So happy to be here. Super excited about this one.
Good morning, everyone.
Awesome. Me
We're
too.
live on Kilt's Money Tribe, Instagram today. We made it. And YouTube, Facebook. And Dr. Nelson, Alia, and Sonia Chandler is going to share her story on carnivore, which ultimately is the proper human diet, as they say. And take it away, Dr. Nelson.
Good morning today. By the way, today's day 13 of my fast, and it is the 22nd of July. Good morning everywhere you are. Put in the chat where you're watching from, morning, afternoon, night. Hopefully we have from all over the world. And we're going to hear today Sonia's story. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat with a QQQ. That way we can see it and bring it up. And
Hashtag
Sonia,
KMT.
Hashtag KMT for Kilt's electrolytes.
There we go. Hashtag KMT. And let's go ahead and start. Sonia, go ahead and tell us.
So excited to be here and so happy to know you guys. I'm proud to know you guys. I call you guys completed doctors, those ones that have all the education and training, but now you guys have that nutrition and you're telling us what to do. But my carnivore journey started back in 2019 when I had done everything under the sun to understand, to figure out why I couldn't stop gaining weight and why I couldn't quit craving all the bad foods. My husband also had an internal gastrointestinal bleeding issue, and doctors couldn't tell us what was wrong with him either, other than the fact that he just needed to have blood transfusions until he stopped bleeding, and then they'd send him home. But I stumbled upon this diet by hearing Dr. Jordan Peterson mention what it did for him and his daughter, Michaela. And I thought, could this even be something we could, try? And I thought my husband would be not for it. Surprisingly, he was like, let's do it. And we started in the summer of 2019. And never in my life had I ever experienced sort of that kind of emotional well-being, let alone physical. I lost 45 pounds. My husband ultimately he's lost 100 pounds.
Wow.
75 initially, and then ultimately 100 pounds. But I had suffered from, severe depression, obsessive compulsive disorder. I was a compulsive cleaner, tended to think that everything was contaminated. I had to, I chronically had to count, and, just that obsessive compulsive thing. I didn't know anything was odd. I had acne. I took Accutane for that. I was on Zoloft for years. All of these maladies that, I just thought were part of life. And for the first time in my life, after starting a solid carnivore diet, everything dissipated. Everything disappeared. The weight came off, yeah, but I was happy. I felt blissful. And then on my husband's side of things, he had always suffered from severe anxiety and depression. I kind of thought it was his personality, but that lifted so much so that I actually didn't know the man that he was as this. I just thought that was part of his personality. And on a carnivore diet, it became such a unusual difference that I honestly thought something was going to happen to one of us, and God was giving us a moment of peace because he was so drastically different from changing his diet. Also, as he's having this GI bleeding issue, this intestinal issue, it's improving. Okay, it's not fixing it, but it's improving. So every time he did end up having a flare up, he wasn't needing blood transfusions. He went from having 13 blood transfusions initially, and then starting carnivore. And then when he would bleed, he didn't lose as much blood to where he didn't need the transfusion. So he was slowly healing as well, but just revolutionary. And why, excuse me, did we not know about this before? Slowly, I found other doctors and a community of people that were there to help out. Dr. Sean Baker, Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Kiltz. When I found him, I was like, he's the best. He helps people have babies. This is the end all be all, because my kids are seriously everything to me, I think. But absolutely life-changing. Absolutely life-changing. And what's interesting to me now is back in 2019 when we started this, anybody I would tell about it, I didn't get a great reaction. Didn't get a lot of good feedback. Now, fast forward almost 7 years later, now people are asking me. People are coming to me. Even people that knew and thought I was crazy are saying, okay, so you've been on this. So what do I do? How do I do this? Big turnaround. And so I think the time is now to share it like we've never shared it before, right? As Dr. Berry says, if it's not from us, who's going to know?
You do it.
We've got to do it. But I also believe, as foundational and fundamental as carnivore diet is, our faith and the power of our mind has got to be integrated into that, because we are body, mind, and spirit, and so we have to understand each aspect of our entire being. So really moving into that as well, kind of tackling that, just how powerful our minds are in the process, be renewed by the transforming of your mind, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, right? And I don't think you can do that without a carnivore diet. I don't think
here's today's reading, by the way. Let's see. What we think and feel forms habits of consciousness that determine our experience. That is the meaning of Paul's statement. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Romans 12:2. So, Sonia,
fantastic.
This is the simplicity of the story, right?
Well, and I've always hung on those powerful mind things. I know in high school I had a science teacher, and he talked one day about how we only use 10% of our mind, and the power of our mind, and how we need to learn to use, and that always stuck with me. And then in my 20s I was really fascinated with how Tibetan monks could sit out on a mountainside in nothing but their robe in sub-zero temperatures and maintain a body temperature to keep them alive. But for the power of their mind, okay, this is a whole other deeper issue. The ability to overcome, mentally speaking, I mean, we can endure quite a lot. Dr. Kiltz knows he just did this 15-day fast, which I'm a chronic faster. I fast a lot too. Actually, I'm 48 hours into a fast today. I do it a lot, and there is so much superpower in it, and not just the mindset part where you are in control of what's going in or not going in your body, but yeah, the power of the mind is a whole other thing we need to tap into and really discuss in this community, because food is fundamental, but the power of our mind, and then our faith that we need to lean on, when things get tough, because we're going to have stuff in life pop up, right? Things that we don't expect, have happen. And, we've got to turn, there. But I do believe we are all on the same path in this community. We're all on the same path, but our journeys are personal. Each one, the learning process, that ability to test things out. This works for me. This doesn't. I'd like to add this back in. I want to be able to do this. You can do whatever you want to do. It's up here, you can do that. And I'm witness to that, because I can honestly say that, back in 2003 is when I was really into severe sugar addiction. My mother passed from breast cancer at the age of 52. And she was mismanaged for a whole year before they found stage 4 breast cancer. And
Wow.
we didn't have answers back then too. Her bookshelves were full of books that or cancer fighting books that were all about vegetables, how to eat vegetables to cure cancer. And when she ultimately, passed, I didn't know what to do. And I turned to sugar and food as a way to comfort. I think psychological pain, you don't really know what to do. Physical pain, we know how to get ourselves out of that, I think. But mental pain, I think we turn to what we think will help or will ease, will comfort. But being in that lockdown of sugar addiction in 2003 to now, at Christmas, if I want to have a bite of something, I don't have a problem. That's a journey I think we all have to take individually, of mastering things with the power of our mind, our faith, of been there, done that, not doing that again, and always having that strong, as I call it, carnivore is, basically emotional armor. I mean, that armors you up, and you can handle a lot because you're stable with, the minerals, nutrients, protein, fat, amino acids. How did we not know this?
Well, I always say there's one simplicity. There's no poisons in animal products. They're in the plants. And we're simply poisoned by plants. And our problem isn't nutrient deficiency, it's plant poisoned.
Yeah.
And when we get to the simplicity of the story, we're not plant eaters, we're animal meat eaters.
Right.
And we're not doing it. The mind has been messed up by the concept that we're supposed to be sheep, but we are lions. And I think that's what you're sharing, Sonia. And then the mindset, and when the master of faith in God is number one. Yeah. And I think that if you have the power and strength of that, it's critical. My good friend Dave died of leukemia at 52. And that's when I was weak 20 years ago to realize something's wrong.
Right.
And we got to think and look at something radically different than we've been doing. And that's the challenge here.
Right. Because the only tidbit in all of my mother's notes, and she was trying to figure it out, there was one tidbit, and she said, I saw it in her notes. It said she had found something that said that cancer grows rapidly in a petri dish when sugar is added to it. How bad sugar. So sugar was always on my radar. And every January I would detox. From sugar. Okay, great. But I didn't realize that vegetables have a lot of sugar in them. And I would eat vegetables thinking I was being super healthy. And if I can healthy harder, and I will healthy harder. Just tell me what to do. So I'm downing vegetables from 2000. And when I finally got a grip and started going by the guidelines, lean meats, low fat, a lot of vegetables, I lost weight, but I kept getting sicker and sicker. And I just thought it was, stay away from the sugar. Well, okay, vegetables are a whole other problem. And, We didn't know that. So yeah, there has to be a different way. My dad died 10 years after my mother from pancreatic cancer. And so everybody around me, to my left, right, front, back, everybody's sick. My mother-in-law died of diabetes. And she was sick from the time my husband was 6 months old. She went into diabetic coma. A blood clot formed on her spine and she was paralyzed for the entirety. He never knew his mom not in a wheelchair. I mean, there's something wrong. We weren't created by God to be sick. Right. He gave us the foods. We're supposed to eat the beasts of the field. I mean, we've been programmed improperly. And I think the mindset, I think sometimes we actually get shoved into that lane of believing because it's, a group think, okay, this is what's good and right for you. But we have to start shifting over and not being afraid to try a different way. And carnivore is, it is life-changing. It's transformative. And you may not stay strict carnivore for the rest of your life. I know Dr. Sean Baker says this at times. You may find another, keto type of way of living, but the healing needs to happen, right? We need to flood our brains with cholesterol and, try to get back to ancestral basics that we were created to live by. I've watched it with my own body. I've watched it with my husband's body. My oldest son, he's a Marine and he was ill. He came home with a lot of problems. Absolutely did a 180 doing carnivore. I've seen it on my own life, watching one person after another do it. Now he's young, so he doesn't stick with it as probably as well as somebody else. But when he starts feeling bad again, he's like, it doesn't do me any good to go off of this way of eating. So that's the journey I think each personal person is on. We're in this carnivore community together, but I think everybody has to figure out their own way personally. Yeah. Because, it's going to be different for everyone in some way, but it's a learning process. And I think our minds are being transformed. We're renewing this. And I think it's the best way to beat it's the best way to beat the, mainstream medical and pharmaceutical industry. This is our best way to do it. What do you got there? That big steak. Are you eating that today?
Yeah, I'm eating this today.
It looks amazing. Yeah, that's.
But you've been eating that for a couple days, right? Haven't you been working on that for a couple days? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you ate it yesterday.
I cut it off. I have a little bit and enjoy it. And the raw fatty meat turns out to be the healthiest thing to eat.
Right.
And but it is kind of crazy because it's not our usual and norm way of thinking.
Right.
Because we're used to eating kale, spinach, smoothies, shakes, protein shakes.
Yeah. Oh, I fed those to my children. That's what I did. I thought I was being healthy. But I think we were at a place where we did that. That steak was because when we used to have steaks when I was a kid and I would cut the fat off because I didn't like it. It was slimy. My dad goes, you are leaving the best part. Don't you? Because you need to eat that fat. And I used to think, I don't want that fat. And I didn't know. Now the steak tasted great to me, but I think we knew at one point in time, we knew what was good and right. Our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they knew. And then we got pulled away. When did the food pyramid get created? What year was that? 1978?
It was 77 or something like
77.
that.
And we started, okay, well, this is what they're telling us to do. This is the authority. And And yeah, you can get thin on that. I exercised and vegetabled my way to a thinner, body weight, but I felt terrible, and I was getting sicker. I got to the point in 2019 where I couldn't even rally to exercise anymore. If I would exercise or exert myself, I was sick for a couple of days. And I was really concerned then. After losing 2 parents to cancer, I thought, what's wrong with me? I can't even get up, and I can't even take a walk with the dog. So I knew I was missing something. And by the grace of God, I saw a tidbit. I had just bought Jordan Peterson's book, The 12 Rules for Life. And so because I was reading his book, his sound bites that would pop up on social media would catch my attention. And he was being interviewed, and he said, yeah, I'm eating this all meat diet. And I was like, what is this? He said, it saved my daughter's life. And I saw her TED Talk. I watched it. It's hard to find now. It's hard to find that TED Talk of Michaela Peterson's because it's pretty powerful. But listen to that, and if that doesn't convince you, I think she was the youngest child or the only child in Canada at the time that was on the rheumatoid arthritis prescription. She had dissolving joints and completely remedied them by eating meat. But I was like, something's going on here. We need to try this. And I had nowhere else to turn at that point. I had done all the healthy things. I had done what the food pyramid told me to do. And my doctors were pleased when I would lose weight. Oh, good job. Proud of you. But, I was still low in vitamin D, and I was having, depression, and, my OCD would kick up, and I would clean for days. Everything was just contaminated. It's like, that's not healthy. That's not mental health. But thank God for the people who will share this, the information and the knowledge of the carnivore diet, and that we have to get back to it. And, the power of the mind to go, okay, I need to change. In our spirit, we know, okay, something's wrong. I didn't have to have a doctor tell me that, oh yeah, well, you've got cancer too. I didn't have to, I can figure this out on my own. Thank you very much. But it's all been a blessing. And now all I want to do is tell everybody about it. People got to know. People that don't know, or they're unsure, need to know just how powerful it is. I know at Meatstock, I talked to Dr. Lisa, and she was saying, what do you think about all this? She asked me because I was a guest. And so being there, I said, I'm kind of overwhelmed by the power of this community and how powerful it is to save lives. I was watching this type of stuff happen right before my eyes. I was watching people that were coming to this meetup, and they were speaking to people who were there, had been through it. And these people now have hope that they can actually change. I said, it's powerful. And so we got to get the word out. We got to shout it from the rooftops. Is that good? Is that a piece of fat?
This is a piece of raw fat.
Yeah.
This is the healthiest thing to eat.
Yep.
And this is the thing that most carnivores are not eating.
Right.
They're cooking this, rendering it,
yep,
and making it actually unhealthy.
Yeah. Not in its raw form.
It's the raw fatty meat that is the healthiest thing for us to eat.
Yep.
And so I think that's where we need to sort of think about. And this has been sitting in my refrigerator for weeks. There's no mold.
Yep.
No rot, but just gets better and better every day.
Yeah,
And,
perfect food.
And this is why I always go for the fattiest cuts and make sure I get the rare to raw. And I was at Capitol Grill yesterday. I had a black and blue bone-in fillet, which this particular one was very fatty, but I threw a bunch of butter on it. But
Yeah.
the best is still going to be the raw fat, which contains more minerals and vitamins and more healthy molecules for healing and suppresses the microbes in the gut.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the way they used to eat it. If you want to go way back ancestrally, the kill, did they stop and no, they ate it right then and there.
They didn't wait for the cook.
They didn't wait for the cook. They didn't have to build the fire. They just went ahead and ate. I mean, we need to take it. I think just the taste alone, the taste isn't it, we understand when we put something in our mouth and it tastes delicious, when it tastes unparalleled to anything else. I think that we should probably trust our our psyche, our mind. We know that that's the best thing for us. But yeah, I was going to say people do render stuff down. I know one person one time said they couldn't stand the fat because it's slimy and whatnot. And so they say, crisp it up. I was like, well, you crisp it up. I don't know if there's much left to it. It's crunchy, but there's not really anything. Then you're going to need to lick that liquid fat off the bottom of wherever you crisped it up from. But yeah, a lot of butter. My grandmother cooked with bacon grease. Like okay, so this is another thing I present. My mother died at 52 from stage 4 breast cancer. My grandmother died at 97, nearly 100 years old. She had no known diseases. She was not diabetic. She did not have cancer. She did not have Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. She had some short-term memory loss, and I think her lungs were like failing. Like they didn't work properly, but she didn't have any. It was basically old age. 97, nearly 98 years old. She knew the old ways. That's the way she cooked and baked, and her faith and mindset was unmatched.
So so Kim Albrecht, I have a genetic predisposition for poor processing of saturated fat. I've been carnivore for 20 months. This seems to be an issue. Dr. Nelson, or Sonia, any comments on that?
Is that a conclusion that she gets to, or she has any proven genetic mark? I mean,
I don't know of any lion that's genetically predisposed not to eat this raw.
The thing is, she's probably assuming that, but I don't know.
And she's not eating this. But again, mind is the master of the mission. Oh, I have a genetic predisposition. I can't tolerate fat. I can't metabolize fat, digest fat, which again, you're rendering fat. That's not the same as nature's production of this. And I know of no human beings that are genetically predisposed not to eat this. Zero. It's mind master, and you've been duped, and you need to heal the gut through faith and fasting and eat the raw fat. That's it.
And enough of it.
And what?
And enough of it. You got to eat enough of it. That's a really big issue, is not eating enough. That's always been a number one problem for me on carnivore. And I think we're hesitant to eat what we're supposed to eat. And we can handle a lot of that fat. Our bodies are meant to eat a lot of that fat. And we've been programmed to not. So you got to eat it, and you got to eat a lot of it. But yeah, it's.
Diana Hill says, when I was diagnosed with GERD and esophagitis, they told me I couldn't have red meat. They told me I couldn't have red meat. Of course you couldn't, because they want to keep you having GERD. They want to keep you weak and meek. That's really it.
And can I speak to that real quick? My husband, we were at 2 major hospitals, well known here in the Tennessee area. And those 2 hospitals searched for months on end to try to give us an answer to my husband's bleeding gut issues. It wasn't until we found this other hospital that a doctor found it within the first 4 days. Now, you want to know what the difference is between those hospitals? The 2 first hospitals were for-profit hospitals. The other hospital was a not-for-profit hospital. Okay, the for-profit hospitals are run like a business. Okay, they need returning customers. The not-for-profit hospital they don't benefit anything by keeping you in the dark. And so their goal is to help the community despite what the community can pay them, what they could do. And so this doctor found it like that. 5, almost 6 years of like concern, worry. Why?
He had chronic intra-abdominal gastrointestinal inflammation.
Yeah.
This is real. I mean, really, someone says about histamine intolerance. That's inflammation.
Yeah.
Basically, it's all inflammation. And 99% of people are not eating the raw fat.
Mm-mm.
They're eating lean meat, which is highly fermentable. The microbes love this. They do not like this. And that's the real game changer to all this. But the cause of disease is ultimately human beings are just not eating the proper human diet, which technically is raw fatty meat.
Yep.
And salt.
And we've been heavily trained to steer far away from that, and that's why, I'm great that with, a lot of changes are being made within the government system to kind of turn that, but like, we're going to have to shout it from the rooftops. It's like Ken Berry said at Meat Stock, we have to start pouring it out there, because the more of us there are that do it, I mean, people can not believe it, but we can't all be wrong.
And the government, I'm not asking the government to fix anything.
Right.
I think we are the government. We are everything. Our job is to share the stories like you're doing.
Yep.
And like we're, Dr. Nelson and Ali and everyone here, do not trust or believe me one bit. You are the only one that can make changes in your life. And what I've learned is faith, fatty meat, fasting. Oh my God, amazing. And 3 to 6 meals a day. Lions do not eat 3 to 6 meals a day.
No.
They eat from time to time, and they take lots of naps in between. They're not chugging down energy drinks.
No, definitely not.
Dr. Kiltz, we got some questions here. Let's see. There's a lot of questions. Let's take up the ones for Sonia first, but then a lot of people are asking about your 15-day fast. Sonia, do you eat raw fat and cow meat?
Yes.
Yes. There you go. Yes, you do.
Yep. And often. I think probably, one of my
Next question, Alia.
Okay, here's the next one. GFG Homestead. Sonia, what are some ways you add fat to your day?
Well, I eat a lot of butter, and probably my main steak choice food type is ribeye. I eat a lot of ribeye. I start my day with a ribeye every morning when I'm not fasting. I put it in the air fryer. That's how I make mine. Mm-hmm. And I get that in probably before 8 a.m. And then I eat a lot of butter throughout the day. I probably eat 3/4 of a stick to a stick of butter. Wow. I love butter. And just my other big favorite, which kind of shocks people, is I eat a ton of pork belly. A ton of pork belly.
Love pork belly.
I have so much frozen pork belly, and if I feel like I'm even slightly getting low, I go and get it, chop it up the way that I cook it, and I freeze it so that I don't run out. I seem to do my very best on pork belly, and that is all fat. So fat or butter, pork belly, and ribeye steaks. I do love fillets, but because of their tenderness, I love their texture, but it's not enough fat for me. So I do ribeyes, as fatty of a ribeye as I can find, as often as
I love that.
Because a big problem in the carnivore community, you're so satiated, you don't sometimes eat enough. You think that feeling of fullness you may not have experienced before, and you are good. You think I'm done, but your body really needs more. So you got to eat enough.
You have to eat, yeah. I don't. So, Dr. Kiltz, did you pop up this question? Does Sean Baker, Dr. Chafee, and Dr. Berry?
Don't know. I mean, I think fatty raw meat is the healthiest thing to eat. And I believe that eating less frequently is better, and fasting is magical. Just finished 15 days, no food, amazing. And I may have to do, it depends on Dr. Nelson, what he's going to do here. But we can go, it's interesting. I did 15 days. I did all my daily weights, walking, work, surgery, everything, and never lost energy, always great. And my bet is we can go longer. My weight was down 10 pounds. I'm between 150 and 160, but strong. I gained muscle on that because remember, the fat is the fuel and the building blocks of your body, and protein, a high protein diet is deadly. You want a high fat diet, by the way. And rendered fat is not the same as raw fat.
That's right. Good. I think you pretty much answered this carnivore at 60. Can you tell us about the 15-day fast? Can you give us some science on autophagy? Appreciate
Well,
you,
your body is always doing cleanup, rebuilding, always. When you stop eating, you are removing the damage that happens to normal digestion, even as a carnivore. So essentially, and especially if you're a plant eater, you remove the poisons and the toxicity and the majority of the damage that's happening to most people in this world on a plant protein, low fat diet. So autophagy is always happening. It's like ketones are always there. You're just lowering the sugar protein levels from leaner meat and plants, and you're allowing the body to just keep cleaning up rather than damaging and clean up at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And fasting is a bit of an art. You really have to learn how to do it. And you really got to eat well. You have to eat well before you fast. I mean, that helps with your fasting. I mean, I think a lot of people think, oh, well, I didn't eat so great this week, I'm just going to fast to fix it. Yes, that's great. But at the same time, you need to eat properly the rest of the time to make your fasting super efficient, because fasting for me, when I didn't eat correctly, was really difficult. Fasting now is like, as Dr. Kiltz says, it's magic. I actually feel like a superhero when I'm fasting. It is powerful and phenomenal the way that you feel the longer you go.
And remember, the fat on your body is not the cause of disease.
Yeah.
Ever. It is the building block and the fuel for your body. And if you carry extra fat, you're probably stronger than anyone. The best way to fast, don't eat.
Yeah.
It's don't eat. I said I'm doing 14 days, and I pushed it to 15. And again, as Sonia said, the mind is all of it. So I think you just do it. Do it.
And once you get into it, you can continue. Like if you do a 2-day fast, why not go a third? You can keep pushing it, and your body will tell you what you need to do. But you can start to feel really great by day 2 and 3. And you're just like, I'm already here. I'm already this far in.
The mind is always the driver, never the body.
Right.
The mind. I want to just emphasize that, because here's Stella, let's see, Stella Nicasrulter, something I can. So fasting for me is difficult. How do I mentally prepare? Well, the first thing is you say fasting is easy. Yeah. You never say fasting is difficult. You always say, I fast all the time. It is so easy.
Yeah.
You always lead with the mental clarity of everything is easy. That's it. Never speak other than this is easy. I claim it, and it is yours.
Yeah, and stop believing that the negative is the truth, because it's not. Like, oh, it's not good for me, or it's bad, or I shouldn't do it if I have a thyroid issue, or I'll get this or that. No. Probably not. Probably you're going to be just fine. And don't, the intuitive mind is the gift. The logical mind is the servant, right? So intuitively, the logical, you think, I shouldn't be fasting this long, whatnot. Intuitively, we know, and our bodies are incredible systems. Okay. They're incredible things. So just, don't fall into fear. Don't fall into the fear. It's fear that ends up, knocking people off the bike.
Faith evolves and restores.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chemo. Wait a minute. Isn't subcutaneous and visceral fat harmful for me? No fat on your body is harmful ever. It is actually the fuel and building block. Your body is smart as you know it. And it gets fat for a reason. If you're overweight, obese, you love that body like nobody's business. You do not give it one negative thought. It's always because God made it for you and loves you. And if you're carrying extra 25, 50, 100, 200 pounds, just look at someone else that doesn't have it and say, you carry this around, see how strong you are. And I would say obesity is the powerhouse of the universe. It is the savior of humanity. We are not pathologically getting fat. It's biologically and physiologically critical. The problem is we're living in the wrong environment, and plants are ultimately the cause, and sub-Q and visceral fat is the best thing ever for you. God gave it to you. It's the fuel and building block. Building block for your body is your fat adipose tissue. That's the craziness.
Go
ahead, Sonia.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have an incredible amount of strength, and it's kind of, people are like, I always kind of surprised at how strong I am. And one time we went and bought this piece of furniture off Facebook Marketplace, and this lady said, there are 4 other people that came before you that were going to buy this piece, and they didn't because they couldn't lift it. And me and my husband carried it to the car. And she was like, my gosh, I thought y'all were going to drop that thing. First of all, it's here, it's strength, but your body is incredibly strong. And just because, you're not, waif thin doesn't mean you're not healthy. I mean, there's a lot of energy in our fat stores. So yes, what Dr. Kilt says is yeah.
Well, and as Sonia said, the mind is the master. Whatever you think, so shall it be.
Right.
Lead with that.
Yeah.
That's where we lead with. And the more you lead with that thought, the universe is a game changer.
Yep.
Every day.
Every day.
Next question. Alia.
Next question for Sonia is from No Carb Barb. Hi, Sonia, one of my favorite people. You post wonderful content. She's so cute. You post wonderful content on Instagram. Where do you get the inspiration for the wisdom you share?
Oh my gosh, what a sweetie. She was like one of my, spiritual matches there. I think I've always been kind of a deep thinker. I always kind of have been mystified by the mind and the power of the mind, but I read a lot. I read. I have been a reader since I was in my teens, and I read a lot. I read a lot of good books, a lot of faith-based books, a lot of scripture. And I think through reading, we gain wisdom. But ultimately, I believe 1000% that wisdom is God granted. God grant. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. And wisdom, I truly believe, is God instilled. And so I read a lot. I think that's maybe where I get any information. And then the truth, God will steer you towards the true good stuff to read. And so I read everything you can. I may not have any sort of titles behind my name, but I have a lot in here, and I know what I know, and I know what I've read, and then I've experimented, and I think it's great that you test things out and see. There's recently a video, Kelly Hogan and several of the other ladies she had on, and they all tried that sugar diet. They tried it. I was so excited about that because I think my excitement for that was that they were experimenting, they were learning, they were gathering knowledge about what works and what doesn't. If you don't do that, how do you know? But I think any knowledge or wisdom I have is because I read a lot. I do a lot of reading.
Haven't we all been on a sugar diet for 50 years? Are we like, it's like, I was like, are we really that dumb?
Well,
I mean, of course we've been on a sugar diet. Done with that, right?
Yeah. I think sometimes you got to test it, or you're curious, or you're like, well, what if I try it? It's kind of like, how kids
it's like trying heroin or marijuana. Let's just all try it, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to the bar and have some more beer. Let's all just try it.
Doesn't work long term.
No. All dead. All dead. Right?
Heroin does not work long term.
Quarter past, not happening. Okay? It does not happen.
And that's why discernment is the critical part here.
Yep.
Be discerning. You are what you eat. You want to be a lion or a sheep. Lions eat sheep, and sheep eat grass and grains.
Right.
And we're frying our brains, right? That's kind of it. So
yeah. Eating too much, not reading enough. Start reading.
And I believe we're eating too much. Eat less.
Yeah.
Less.
When I was in high school, there did this news story on this group of people who they literally ate as little as they could. It was a local story, but it was about this group of people. It was like a community of people that they were the small eaters. They ate as little as they possibly could. That was kind of their hobby, to see how little they could eat. Now I don't know if it was carnivore based, but I remember that news story like years and years ago, that they actually held a lot of health benefits for eating less. So yeah, we don't need to eat. We didn't have a refrigerator in front of us 24/7 back in the beginning days. We didn't have that sort of convenience.
Well, the dry aged meat, and look at Iberian ham. It's just sitting on the counter. It's just sliced up and eat it.
Yep.
And that's, this just sits, slice it up and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Next question.
Next question. It's a comment. I stuck to 2 pounds of beef a day for a year and was stuck at 205 pounds for 6 months. 2 weeks ago, switched to 1 pound a day with sour cream and butter, and 20-kilometer walking day, lost 12 pounds finally. There you go.
Dr. Kills just made the comment, that we're probably eating too much, and eating less may be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because every time they push carnivores, you have to eat more and more and more. I think it's wrong. Again, meat in motion. we're not grazing animals. We're meant to feast and then fast.
Mhm.
And that's the very best way. Like Dr. Nelson and myself, days without food. Hunters go days and weeks without food. If you watch how many wolves and other animals hunt, they may go days and weeks, no food.
And it's a cognitive benefit too. I mean, I don't know if anybody else starts to recognize this the way that I do, but when the further you get into this fasting and fasting and fat eating, as your brain gets better and the cognitive function improves, you start to look around you and you notice the stark contrast between yourself and the rest of the population that are not eating that way. And you start to see this just huge difference. The benefit of eating the way we were meant to eat and live by fasting and eating, it is creating a much better, healthier, and efficient human. So many people I see that are suffering. I see so many people suffering or just struggling, and you know that it's because of their brain's not even firing properly. It's a cognitive thing, and then it makes it much, much more doable and easy to harness the power of your mind when it's already healthy by what you're putting into it. So
Mark Weldon, I'm down 112 pounds, completely cured, over 30 medical conditions, no longer on the 13 different medications a day, take 2 years strict carnivore, completely reborn. Thank you to Kiltz, to Nelson, Alia, to Sonia, to everyone here. And again, we're doing this together. There's infinite leaders. And, basically the keto is dead.
Yeah.
Carnivore and Genghis Khan, the Mongols have taken over the world.
Yep.
By the way, Dr. Kiltz, even though I'm 13-day fasting today, I did go hunting yesterday. I did go hunting to the website of 3C Jopa, and I put an order. We have a link. We have a link. Alia has it. We need to put in the description or something. Put in the chat for a discount.
We just got it. Yeah,
you get a discount, and it really is. We're working on building that so you can get good quality meat products out there. And if you have someone you recommend, we'll talk about getting that link up there for others to get all of this wonderful stuff. Sonia, you and your husband went to the docks and all this stuff. At the end of the day, was it like, wait a minute, by simply getting rid of plants and eating fatty meat, all of our diseases went away? Is it really, is there a complicated story here, or is it really just like so simple?
Simple as can be. And to think that the only reason I believe that God allowed us to suffer and for me to suffer is to help others. Because if I hadn't gone through that, what would I have to offer? So yeah, it is very simple. It's that, and you're right on the keto thing, because we did Atkins back in 2012, and sure, I lost weight, but the difference between keto and carnivore is the Grand Canyon. Carnivore,
I love that.
You cannot compare them. And maybe for some people keto is great, but carnivore is the only way to get the ultimate benefits. 100%. I've done that too. I've tried the keto thing, and it is not the same. They cannot be compared. It's different when you're zero carb. Totally different thing. But yes, it's simple. It's simple. And all the really great things in life aren't they? They're simple.
Cause of bleeding, inflammation.
Yep.
Gastrointestinal inflammation. The microbes love it.
Yep. And yeah, he had, from what I understand, some sort of twists or tears in his lining, and then they couldn't find them. And but the more he ate carnivore, the better he got. And who knows how severe it was? It must have been pretty severe by the time that, he started falling. He would just collapse wherever he was. But yeah, it's that simple. And
Yeah.
I
Cool.
think yeah.
Cool. So I was at 160. I got down to 149. I'm at 153. I'm playing with it. And remember, in and out, there's all sorts of things. And I've like never felt better. I do my weights walking, and I do my master meditation of JC every day. Oh, Dr. Nelson, wait a minute. Fasting is not good for you. Does it raise your cortisol?
Well, when you're fasting, several hormones do get upregulated. Okay. So some fasting may increase a little bit your cortisol. It also increases other hormones.
Isn't cortisol critical? Isn't it critical for your day-to-day survival? I mean, well, and
also it's a good thing to remember. Fasting, you also have to pair that with eating well before your fasts. Okay, your body has to be in a great state of well fed. It's good to be fed with good fats and whatnot. And then when you go into the fasting, you're going to be healthy. Your hormones aren't going to do this because you're already very balanced.
But I just want to throw it out there. Fasting can be started at any time.
Yeah.
You can just start a fast.
Go into it anytime.
Fasting in and of itself is the healthiest thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it will create that healthy environment by simply fasting for everyone, anyone.
Yeah.
That's I just wanted to sort of throw that out there, because just like if you're sick, you fast.
Right.
You will heal. That's what I want just everyone to know, that you don't have to like, well, I can't fast because.
Right.
No, you should be fasting. You should be
Fasting ever.
Pairing that with, when you come off your fast, eat well. Don't eat bad and then think a fast will fix it. You have to pair fasting with eating correctly. Which is
Sonia?
Carnivore, fat, raw fat, carnivore, lots of butter, lots of pork,
salt,
but raw. Salt. Yeah. Well, eat your steak as rare as you can stomach it yourself. That has been a given from the beginning of time. I used to have, my dad used to say, people ask how you want steak cooked? Take the horns off of it and run it through the kitchen. That's about as raw as you should eat it, is as raw as you can possibly eat it. Take the horns off of it and run it through the kitchen to the table. Raw. That's basically raw. So
next question.
This is the next question. Terry Rodriguez, Dr. Kills, menopausal thickening of uterine lining, extra long bleeding. Can carnivore affect or correct this issue, and how?
Well, a plant-based protein, low-fat diet feeds the microbes in the gut that infect the vagina, cervix, uterus, and cause all the problems. And basically, carnivore, fatty meat, salt water will help reduce the inflammation in the gut, vagina, cervix, uterus, tubes, everything. So absolutely we'll take care of that, 100%. Fatty raw meat is the best thing to eat. Let's see. I put in either the refrigerator or dry ager. It's the same thing. Use the dry age refrigerator. Dry age it, cut it up, put it out, cut it up, eat it like this. And I typically eat one meal a day at night. And that's my 99%.
You're just educating us right now with your meats on how to eat raw meats. That's what you're doing.
That's the very best thing. Again, that's the way to eat it. There's like, oh my God, I don't know how to cook meat. Well, you don't have to. That's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
Carnivore since last October, issues are going away. 285 down to 210, targeting 195. Fasting. Oh my God! And follow Dr. Nelson. How many days are you going to go, Dr. Nelson?
1 day at a time. My goal is Friday or Saturday. That's 16 or 17 days. Saturday, I will be in. We'll be together in Montello.
I guess I'm going to do 20 next.
But it depends on how I feel.
So by next April, you'll be ready for 40.
Why would you not feel? I mean, what about your fasting? Because your body, there's no reason you'll continue to feel wonderful every day. There's nothing about your body that would say, oh, it's time to eat, because you, like most of us, have plenty of fat. You can probably go 40 days and 40 nights. So
hey, don't tempt me.
Well, again, you have the strength and power to do anything. Dr. Nelson is one of the most amazing human beings I've ever known, and I'm grateful that he's part of this team. So thank you. Alia, thank you. Sonia, thank you. Let's do our quick KMT. Hit the button, Alia. Just hit the button. Hit the button, Alia. Hit the button, Alia.
To get it up there.
Hit the button. Hit the button.
Sorry,
hit
I'm
the
looking
button.
at it.
Dr. Nelson, Sonia, where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram for the love of steak, bacon, and home.
All right. Awesome, all.
Love that.
Love you guys.
Love you.
All right. Hang
Bye-bye.
on.
Love
Get
you.
our winner here.
Congratulations.
All right.
Email me. I will get you what you need. Alia at Dr.
All right. I got to run to the
Wow.
office.
Awesome.
Got surgery. Got stuff. I love you all. Sonia, you're amazing.
All right.
Dr. Nelson,
You guys
thank
are
you.
amazing.
Bye all.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
3
Bye.
p.m.
See you all
3
later.
p.m. today.
Bye.
3 p.m. today.